welcome back to the Knitting Diaries. This is episode 9 and today is June the 15th and it's been I think about 10 days since I podcasted last time. My name is Inga Rós and I live in Egilsstaðir, and that's a little town on the east coast of Iceland. And this is my little podcast about knitting and dyeing yarn and sometimes sewing project bags, but mostly knitting. And yeah, so welcome back if you are a returning viewer, and so happy to see you if you are a new viewer. Thank you so much for deciding to spend a little bit of time with me, because I am always finding new excellent podcasts out there. So I really appreciate that you decided to spend a little time with me. So yeah, here we go. I usually start by talking about my weekend review or síðan síðast, since last time, and I started doing that because if I put it in and at the end of the show I just wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it, so I put it at the beginning, but now I think I will move it back again so that if you are not interested in my life in general, you can just skip watching that and turn off. So there are, when I said I'm always finding new podcasts, I am, but I'm not gonna talk about any of them right now. I'm still just loving my new Scottish podcasts that I found last time, Eva and David. He is This Boy podcast and she is Eva Kristin Hand Knitting podcast. And she was actually talking about, I was just watching their joint episode, their 10th episodes, and she was actually talking about how that her name was unusual in Scotland, but in Iceland it's not. It's a very common name in Iceland, so maybe you have Icelandic roots, Eva. You should check that out. But we are diving into the knitting because that's why you're here. I have no finished objects. It's just been 10 days since I recorded last time, and even though I have been knitting some, it's not been a lot. But I will show you anyway, because I have made some progress, and especially on my summer top. The last time I showed you, I had just started the pattern or the lace, and I hadn't divided the body. But look at it now. I have, since I showed you the last time, I have divided the body and I'm working on the front, and it is this beautiful lace segment. And when I block it out, it's going to grow and be a little bit bigger, and then it drapes like this, and it is a beautiful pattern, and it's a fairly easy lace project. And we are in the group, we have a Ravelry group called the Knitting Diaries podcast group. There are 2 of them, but I'm losing stitches. But the other one hasn't been active in a very long time, so just be sure to join the right one. And there we are having a knit along or crochet along, it doesn't matter, and it can be, I'm still losing stitches, and it can be for any kind of summer top. It doesn't have to be this pattern. This pattern is called Bonnie and is by Tin Can Knits. But as I said, it doesn't have to be this one. It can be any pattern, lightweight or anything that you want. and it is running all through August, so you have plenty of time to knit this one or any other that you like. There is now a finished object thread that I opened, and there are some posts in there, and some people have even made 2. So I will be drawing prizes from the finished object thread, but I will also draw a prize from the charter thread. So even if you don't finish, which is highly unlikely because it's such a long time, but if it happens, you are still able to win a prize. I haven't decided on what it will be. Probably it will be a skein of yarn hand dyed by me and a project bag. Yeah, those will be 2 prizes, one for the finished object and one for the charter thread. So come and check that out in the group. Yeah, nothing much. I have showed you this so many times. I'm not gonna talk about the yarn or anything. I put it all in the show notes if you're interested, and I'm not gonna go through that all again. I have since last time cast on a nude project, and it is living in my little owl bag that I made. And this is, I usually have one sock project and one something else. This time it's the bunny top, but I think next one will be a cardigan, and I think I'm sort of a monogamous knitter, I think it's called. Meaning that I like to have one sock project and one something else. That's really fine for me. I really don't like to have many projects on the go, and now I only have these 2. I can maybe have 3, but yeah. I usually find that if I have more than 2, I put one of them aside and just work on something or just one project. But these are my cobblestone socks. By the pattern is by the knitting expert Mina, and she gifted me the first 4 patterns because I test knitted one of her patterns for her, and she gifted me the whole 4 of them, which was so nice of her. And these are the cobblestone socks. You can't maybe just see the pattern. It is a paid for pattern, so I'm not gonna talk too much about it, but I was just so excited to start them that I am making the pattern on both sides, just back and front. The pattern says, of course you can do that, but the pattern is written that you only have the pattern on the front. But it's really, I'm really liking how this is turning out. And this is my hand-dyed yarn. This is actually, maybe I can talk about it a little bit later, but yeah. No, okay, I'm gonna do it right now. I was doing a swap with Iris, who is in Finland, and she has a podcast called Knitting in the Mint Green House. And we decided that I would send her some of my hand-dyed yarn. And of course then I was just still experimenting, even though I am now starting. Sorry if you heard that is my son's game that is trying to get his attention, if you heard that. Yeah, we decided that I would dye up a skein of yarn for her, and she would send me a skein of finish indie dyer yarn that I would pick up myself. So I was kind of nervous of sending out a skein of yarn. I have just been dyeing for myself and my mom and my best friend and such people like that. So there has no one asked to have my yarn before. And I was really nervous. And I was checking out her profile and seeing which color she liked and making this a huge problem for myself. And this was the first skein I dyed up for her. And this is just very foresty green speckled, or not speckled. I dyed half the skein in this green color, and then the other half is just white or the neutral color with green speckles. So, and in this pattern, it is really fun. It's coming out. Well, I like it at least, but I didn't send this to her, obviously, because I decided that I wouldn't make this such a problem for myself, and trying to find out what she liked. So I dyed up for her a colorway that I am developing for my Etsy shop for when that finally opens, and when I stop talking about it and just do it. But I would show you that a little bit later. Yeah, so I am knitting these on 2.5mm needles, which are 1.5 US, I think, and 64 stitches, or the medium size. I find that is the size for me. I really want to try 2.25 needles, but that is not something you can get in Iceland. The salesperson in my local yarn shop just looked at me, but why would you want 2.25? Do you want 2 or 2.5? There is nothing in between here. So I have to order them if I want them, and I haven't done that yet. But someday I will. But those are all my works in progress, or my verk í vinnslu, as is said in Icelandic. Yeah, as I told you, I have been getting a little bit of time for dyeing. I find that I am always waiting for the perfect time to dye, when I can have the house to myself, because I don't want to dye when the boys are running around and will be mixing dye powder and everything. So I have always been waiting for, yeah, like the perfect time. I have the house for myself for a few hours, but having 3 boys, when does that ever happen? Never, I tell you. So I thought I would try to be a little bit more organized and mixing some dye stock in the evening when they are sleeping. And since I dye on the stove in pots, I can. It's not that much of a bother to put something in a pot, and it just stays there. I have to watch for it for the boil comes up, but then I don't have to watch it all the time. I can go and do something else for 20 minutes or something like that and come back to it. So now the question only is, can I be that organized some nights, even not every night maybe. But yeah, as I said, I have been kind of developing some colorways in my head, and I have gotten 2 of them the way I like them. So I am still trying to make red. How do you make red? Everything I try just turns out pink. Various shades of pink, but still pink. So if you have any tips for me on how to make a red one, I will be very happy and very grateful for that. So if you want to, you could leave a comment below, or maybe in the episode thread in Ravelry group, for how to dye a red color. Yeah, that's not happening. Yeah, and I have to make some more experiments for that. But this one I am very happy with. This one will be called Ice Cave. Have you been in an ice cave? It is more or less like this. This deep blue aqua color. And where I live in Eilstad, it's not, I can drive for a couple of hours and I am up to Vatnajökull. And that is the biggest glacier in Iceland. And it has usually, not always because that glacier always shifts, but usually it has a cave somewhere in it. And it is breathtaking in there. And it is, you can see the sand that it's stuck in the ice, and probably it will be more white in the final colorway. But I really like this one. And this will be Ice Cave. And this one, I don't know if this will be called variegated. Yeah, I think so. It is 3 different shades of green. It goes all the way from this really bright radioactive to this really dark green. And this will be called wet moss. I am trying to name the skeins something that makes sense both in Icelandic and in English, because I hope to sell some of this in Iceland also, not just on Etsy. So I am trying to come up with names that are easily translated to English and Icelandic, but also represent the color. And that is harder than you think. This one was just an experiment, like I have told you some episodes ago. I ordered some colors and it was all the fluor colors, or the really, really bright ones. And those are just all here in one place. It's this radioactive green and really bright yellow and purple and pinks and everything. And this probably won't go in the shop. Maybe it will go just as one of a kind, or maybe I will just use this in socks for me. We'll see. And this one is, I wanted to try to dye the base in all this light pink, but this is too strong of a pink. It was supposed to be a light darker, and then it was supposed to be this really bright pops of purple, and this is the red I want, just really red. And this is a lot more concentrated than when you put it in the skein in a lot of water. It always turns pink. So maybe I just have to hand dye red. But these will just be socks for me. Or what do you think? Would you buy something like this? It's pretty, but I don't know. My experiments last time was, I was trying to get red, and this is the closest thing I got to it, but it's still really, really pink. It's not red. And this orange, which I like. So, yeah. But hopefully I will be dyeing some more. I still have a lot of yarn that I ordered last time. I did order some other weights, not just fingering. I have DK and I have some sport. And I am, because I've noticed that Icelandic knitters are used to working with léttlopi and lopi, so they are not used to working with the finer yarns. So they like to have sport weight is the same weight as our kampgarn, and the DK weight is the same as léttlopi. So you can still use patterns for léttlopi for those recipes, or for those yarn bases. Yeah, that's it about dyeing. Yeah, we are plowing through this, almost 20 minutes. And we are halfway through. As I told you before, my notes are over here. So that's why I'm looking over there. And tonight I am drinking Viking light lime. It has a lime taste, so it's very summery and fresh. I was doing a swap, 2 swaps actually. And the first one to arrive was from Iris, from Finland. And this is the yarn I picked out. She pointed me in the direction of some indie dyers in Finland, and there are quite a few of them over there. And I am always surprised that there is no one in Iceland that I know of who is doing this. But this is the color I picked. It's got Stelino. And these will be my first sparkle socks that I knit for myself. It's this dark and light grey with some reds and browns, and it is really, really beautiful. She also sent me some stitch markers that she made. This really cute butterfly and a little fish. Oh, and it's got glitter on it. It's really cute. She's also sent me some minis from my blanket. I'm not going through them all, but look, and these are her colors. You can see it's just these really beautiful mustardy yellow and oranges and everything. And these are really great. And she sent me some chocolate too. Some Finnish chocolate that I am going to eat while I edit this later on. And the other package that arrived is from Jennifer. She is in the US, in Idaho. And she lives on a farm with Icelandic sheep. And she contacted me and asked me if she could send me a care package. And I said, of course you can. And offered to send her something back. And so I sent her a skein of yarn and some project bags and some chocolates and stitch markers and everything. Yeah, the typical short packets, I think. And she sent me, her packets arrived today, and she sent me, these are her sheep. She has 3. And I was not complaining exactly, but ranting about shipping, as I do sometimes, because I wanted to make labels that I can put on my project bags when I open the shop. And I had found some sheets that are just like paper, and you can print on them in a regular printer. But one package costs $11 or $12 on Amazon, but the shipping for the package was $44, and I was ranting about that when she first contacted me. And so she offered to, because shipping is free for her, that she could order me some packages of these, and I would make her put it back. So it was a swap for that. But she also sent me some other goodies. She sent me some tea, and podcasters are always drinking tea and raving about their cookie tea or whatever, Christmas something or whatever. In Iceland, or at least in Egilsstaðir, you don't get any of those fun teas. You just get, we have some yogi tea, I think it's called. And it is like licorice and sweet chili or something like that. But I don't like it. But if I could have some of those yummy candy teas that you all are drinking, maybe I would. And these This arrived today and I haven't tried it yet. This is coconut chai black tea. And it smells delicious. I can't even open the can. Hjörtur was playing with this and his dad closed it really tight and I think I can't open it now. So I'm not going to smell it for you, but I know it smells amazing. And she also sent me, and I thought this was really funny, but I can't try it. Can't wait to try it out. She sent me some brownie mix, huckleberry brownie mix. And Hjörtur and August are really excited to try this. I think I have to bake this weekend. And this smells amazing. But that's not all she sent. She sent this also. This is Supernatural yarns. Sorry. And this is called, I think the base is called Griffin Sock. It's a 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% stellina. And I think the colorway is called Crude. Crude. Don't even. But it's beautiful. Look at all the oranges and the browns. It's gorgeous. And it has gold stellina in it. It's absolutely beautiful. And anything that's connected to Supernatural. And I can connect to the Winchester brothers. Can't fail. But she also sent me this. And this has to be my favorite thing in the package. This is her handspun. Jennifer doesn't have a podcast, but she has a blog page called Plain Fleece and Fiber. And it's just, yeah. And she has an Etsy shop where she sells wool, what's it called? Bats that she spins up. Or yeah, she spins them up. But she also sells them like that. And those are from her Icelandic sheep. But this is beautiful. This, I don't know, you can see those speckles of really bright dark blue. Bright dark. That's a bit of a contrast, but okay. But it is absolutely gorgeous. I am sitting by the window as usual and I have no lights turned on. It is now 11:15 at night and it's still bright outside. Maybe I can turn the camera in a little while and show you outside. But this is absolutely gorgeous. It is 2 plies. It's a sport weight, 3.9 ounces. I think this will be a hat for me. Unnar, my oldest one, is really the only knit-worthy person among my boys because he never loses anything. I crocheted him some mittens last fall, and those are the only mittens he wore all winter, and he hasn't lost them. August goes to school with all the stuff that I have made for him, and that never comes back home. So, and my husband Atle is even worse. I didn't make it. I bought him. He's a really big Land Rover fan, and he has a really old one that he is fixing up. And yeah, he's a big Land Rover fan. And I bought him a hat once for his birthday that had the Land Rover logo on it. But since I know him, I bought him 3. And there are always 2 that are lost. He always knows where one of them is, and they always seem to come back, but there are always 2 that are lost, and he wears one of them. Yeah, but she also sent me, Jennifer, this gorgeous drawstring bag. And it's got mermaid on it. It's gorgeous. And it's this orange on the inside. And it is a bag by Madbird. I'm guessing they have it's handmade in USA. I can't see what I'm doing. Yeah. Here is the logo. And it's not focusing, but it's called Madbird. I don't have many drawstring bags. I always have zipper bags, but it's got a nice handle on it. The bottom is really thick and stiff, or not stiff, it can be crushed, but yeah, I really like this one. She had seen, I think it was my second or third episode, that I had shown on the show some fabric that I got in Akureyri, and she had seen that fabric and requested that I made her bags in it. And it is this with the sheep on it. This was supposed to be going to her, but I screwed it up somehow, and the bottom is all messy. And I was trying out new interfacing, and this one is really thick, and I don't really like it. But it's fine for me. So this one is just staying with me. Yeah, that's it, but for the mail, and it was amazing mail. Thank you so much, girls. I love everything that you sent, both of you. What's next? Yeah, ask away. I had a follow-up question for the last episode, where I was talking about the Icelandic sheep, and Nicole, the one who asked the first question, wanted to know if the sheep have been bred again before they are let out to roam in the highlands for the summer. And no, the breeding time for the Icelandic sheep is around Christmas, and that is when the sheep are all inside, and then the farmer can control more which ram goes on what sheep for his breeding program, or so he can maintain the colors he wants, among other things. And that is mostly it about knitting and everything knitting related, I think. Just looking over my notes to make sure. And yeah, and that just leaves síðan síðast, or since last time. And the only remarkable thing that has been going on since last time is soccer or football, as we talk about here in Iceland. It is football. It's not. Yeah, sorry, my American viewers. We have football here in Iceland, and that has been making Icelandic people crazy for the past few days, and it reached a peak last night because the national team, the men's national team, is competing in Euro 2016, and this is the first time and Iceland is competing in such a big tournament. And last night we were playing Portugal with Cristiano Ronaldo and some other man that I can't name because I really don't follow football. I just watch when my boys are playing, but other than that I'm not really interested. But everyone in Iceland has been going crazy for football. And last night the game started at 7 p.m. and there was a news article in the paper this morning that traffic in Reykjavik, there was no traffic in Reykjavik, no car traffic Everyone was just home watching the game, and that is something I like about Iceland. It is really just a big village, because when something big like this happens, everyone is taking part. Even if you don't like soccer like I do. I never watch soccer on TV. But I watched last night with the two younger boys. Atli was working, and Unnar was at his dad's house. So there were just three of us. And in the first half, Portugal scored a goal. I think his name is Nene or Nini or something like that. I can't even remember his name. But that was the first half. But very soon in the second half, Iceland even the score and scored a goal. And I actually screamed out loud because I was just so excited. It was, yeah. Because Iceland is we are just 330,000 people, give or take a few. And this small town or small place mentality is still here. Like a friend of mine was getting married last weekend. And just as he was getting ready to go to bed the night before, he realized that he hadn't picked up his suit. And there was something else. Yeah, the meat for the reception was still in the meat shop where he was supposed to pick it up earlier in the day, but forgot in all the stress. And the chef was going to start to cook it early in the morning, at 9 o'clock in the morning. So, but living in a small town like mine, you just call around, and everybody knows everybody. So he just called the salesperson in the shop, and she opened up for him, and he could go get his suit. And it was 11 in the evening, 11 p.m. And she had already gone to sleep and everything. But okay, I will go and open up the shop for you so you can pick up your suit. And the same for the shopkeeper or the meat. What do you say? The butcher shop. He just called her and woke her up, and she just, yeah, no problem. I will just wake up really early in the morning and open it up for you, so you can get it to the chef. So I really like this small town that everybody knows everybody, and if you don't know exactly the right person, you know someone that does, so you can always fix things if something goes wrong or you forget something. Or yeah, I really like that. This Friday is our Independence Day. It is the June 17th. So there will be a day of work for everyone, of course, and some celebrations in town. And I might shoot some video clips and take some pictures of that and show you next time. Next weekend, I am doing this now in the middle of the week because I was trying to straighten out my routine. I have, if you haven't watched before, I have 3 boys, but my oldest one my husband is not his father, but his father lives in town, so he stays with us 1 week, and then with his dad and his family for 1 week. And it is just easier for me to film on the weekends when he is not here. But since I went to Akureyri, I think the schedule got a little bit mixed up. So I'm trying to get back on track with that. So instead of filming this past Sunday, when it was just a week between podcasts, I thought I would make it 10 days, and then another 10 days, and then I am basically back on schedule. But that weekend Atli and I are going to Reykjavik for our wedding, and we will just be going alone. No boys with us. They are just staying with their grandparents for the weekend, and I can't wait for that. The wedding is on a Saturday, but we are flying early on the Friday morning, so I will have some time to go yarn shopping and checking out some fun stuff in Reykjavik with Atli and doing some grown-up things. We don't get a lot of chance for that. Yeah, so I probably won't be filming next Sunday, but probably the Monday or Monday after that. And then there are just a couple of days before I go on summer vacation, and then I will get 4 weeks of vacation time where I can just knit and dye and play with the boys in the sunshine. Hopefully, and we'll still be here with us. Last week hasn't been all that great weather-wise, but nothing compared to last summer, so I'm still happy. And it was a great day today. But I don't think I will blather on much longer. But I did, so I can have this segment in the back of the episode for those who don't want to watch it. I am going to try to turn the camera and show you outside. I hope this will not get really disturbing. If it will, I will just cut it out. But look, that's my neighbor with a really blue house, which I don't really like. But look, it's still bright outside. And we are going back inside. Yeah, so I don't think I will have this any longer. So thank you for watching. And yeah, I really wanted to mention something. I now have 299 subscribers on YouTube. So next time I will probably be doing a giveaway. So stay tuned for that. If you want to win some of my yarn, I think I will dye up a skein of yarn for a prize. But I will talk more about that next time. So I will just wrap this up now, and thank you for watching, and subscribe if you want to be kept up to date or be notified when my videos are up. And hope I see you next time. Thanks. Bye bye.